ICRC quarterly meeting, April 22nd, 2021, 6:01 p.m. Approval of the minutes, please. Need a motion to approve the minutes, or do you need a minute to look over the minutes? If not, when all heads up, then we will make that motion and move forward. I can't see all heads, but okay.
Okay.
Someone make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll
Dave.
second it.
Okay, it's been moved by Dave, second by, was that Finan?
Yeah.
Are there any questions?
Mayor Finan seconds.
What did you say? Are there any questions? Being no questions, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, motion carries or pass. Treasurer's report.
Yes, sir. Checking account has 708,635.42 as of today. Thank you.
Okay, is there any discussion about the expenditures that you received via email from January 29th, 2021 to April 22nd, 2021? If there are no concerns or questions, when everyone look up, someone can make a motion to accept the approve the expenditures from that time.
So moved. Senator Maker, Mayor Finan.
Mayor Finan moved. Is there a second?
I'll second. Dave.
Dave, second. Are there any questions? Are there any questions, additions, subtractions, whatever? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, aye. The motion pass or carries. Okay, production managers, I'm sorry, executive director's report.
Okay, thanks, Linda.
You pulled your agenda back down. I don't know.
I can put it back up.
No, that's okay. I'd rather watch.
Yeah, we're halfway through the agenda.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks, Linda. I was hoping to introduce, I had forgot Dave Lumsden from Glendale. I was going to be here, but it looks like he didn't make it. I was going to introduce Dave's, our newest board member from Glendale, and taking over for Wally Cordes, who was the board member. David is the new village administrator, taking over for Wally. So I was hoping to introduce him here, but I'm sure he'll be here for the next meeting. We've done a lot of stuff with David during the pandemic. He's been they've been very active with getting a lot of their meetings covered. So it seems like weekly, either David or Jason or myself were communicating about getting meetings covered. So very pleased to have David as the new board member for Glendale. So just wanted to mention that briefly. We've gone ahead and purchased a new van for Brian to use for delivering the government units. It's a 2019 Ford Transit van with just over 30,000 miles on it. We were able to transfer all of the equipment out of the old van, the hydraulic lift, the strapping track, and the storage compartment that he uses. So that worked out well. Brian's very pleased with this new van. It's a lot bigger, a lot more space in the back for him to move around. So it's a lot more comfortable to be in. So I know he's thankful for that, and I'm glad for that for him as well. And again, with it just having 30,000 miles on it, we expect and plan on getting a lot of years out of it. So so that was a good purchase to make. We got that from Mike Albert Leasing just over here in Evendale. So and let's see, moving on to the cablecast system that I mentioned back in January that we're going to replace. That has been ordered, and I expect that to be here and hopefully installed by the end of May, beginning of June. That will be done by an engineer who's traveling from Michigan he'll come down and stay for a day or two and put it in. So I'll hopefully have a report back in July that it's installed and up and running, but I don't see any issues with that. So we're looking forward to having that put in. We are also in the process of updating our studio in the studio control room, and that project should be completed in a couple weeks. Once that's done, everything that we produce in the studio will be in HD, which means everything now that we produce, whether it's in the studio, whether it's in the truck, or the government units that we use for the meetings, everything is in high def. So we're glad to have all that taken care of. We continue to cover lots of Zoom meetings each month. I'm sure most of you are talking about the meetings, if you are doing Zoom meetings, about getting back to in-person meetings here shortly. I know at least the current Open Meetings Act, the temporary changes, that's, I think, scheduled to end July 1st. I don't know if they'll continue on with that, if they will extend it further, but either way, we're ready to go. If we get everybody moved back in person, we'll just kind of jump back into the old way of doing meetings, but obviously we don't know. I haven't heard anything. So if you guys hear anything, or if anyone knows of any changes being made to the Open Meetings Act, certainly let us know. That would be great. And then lastly, I've been in discussions with Hamilton County, with the administration down there, to replace the broadcasting equipment that we use to cover the meetings for the commissioners. We are going to build a new system for them, just like the systems that we use for the government meetings that we cover, but they're going to pay for it. So it won't cost us anything to do it. It'll just cost us some man hours for Brian to go down and install some connectors and a few odds and ends. But other than that, it shouldn't really be too big of a burden on us to do. And we're excited about that. Again, that means their meetings will be in high definition, which they haven't been in a while. We've used old equipment to cover their meetings for them. So we're excited to get those updated as well. So we hope to have that system in place and ready to go by the time the commissioners go back to in-person meetings, which I believe they're thinking about going back in June. So as long as the equipment that we've ordered comes in, we'll get that system put together and down there. A lot of electronic components are on back order because of COVID. So we'll see how that plays out, but we're still looking forward to getting that system built. So, and that really concludes my report. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I've got a couple, Tim. First
Sure.
one is, have you seen an increase in cost for the components? Because I threw away a couple 2x4s last year because they were, cluttering up my garage, and turn around. I mean, they were like $1.90 a piece. Now they're like $7, $8 a pop. So have you seen any price increase?
As far, I have not, but I'll be honest with you, and Jason might be able to answer this better, because he's done a lot of pricing for things, and Brian as well priced out a lot of equipment. They get the best prices that we can get, but I will tell you, if it is increasing or decreasing, it seems like everybody is following suit. So we use 2 or 3 different vendors that we buy equipment from, and if one vendor's increased it, everyone else has. So there's not a lot of variation from different vendors. So as far as just the prices in general going up because of COVID, I haven't really noticed that. Maybe Jason has.
Nothing in particular has like skyrocketed like lumber has.
Okay.
Largely the issue
Yeah.
has been a lot of times, no matter where you order it, like I was looking at different microphones, then the shipping expectation on them is out past 12 weeks sometimes.
Yeah.
But as far as prices, they've been pretty steady. We get there's a government discount, I guess, through some of the major suppliers that's very good and is really helpful. And I haven't seen any impact on even the discount they're giving.
Okay.
Okay,
The other question, go ahead,
Go-
Linda.
No, go ahead on. You're good.
My other question was kind of grouped for everyone. So, and I don't know, and Paul, I don't know if you've heard or not, I haven't heard any discussion at Sharonville as far as, let's say and we've been back in person, but we've been Zooming it. At some point, I don't know long-term if that's something we would continue. I see some benefit because residents have the ability to speak real time. But has anyone had that discussion? I haven't heard anything as far as, yes, you're allowed to go back in person, but you would still continue on the live stream.
No, we are back. We never went out. We did one
Mhm.
meeting by Zoom because I was in Florida,
Mhm.
but we're in person for all of our meetings, and then but the residents can chime in because we're on live stream.
Okay.
As far as that's concerned, and it's working very well. We don't get a lot of questions that way, but and really, people can actually come to our council chambers. We stand them across the back, like we're swearing in some new police officers and things like that, where their families want to come and things like that. And they come in and then they're gone and the next one comes. But they stand around the back or stand out in the vestibule. So we've not had any problems with it. And I want to thank Tim and the people there that work. I mean, we've had a number of meetings. We had a public meeting last week that you were able to cover and gave us some feedback from that meeting. I think we had another one that you did, and you did the Zoom meeting. You've just been great as far as we're concerned, and fulfilled every need that we have.
I'm glad. I appreciate that. I'm glad we can help out. That's why we're here.
Oh yeah, it's been a huge help.
Good.
Any other questions?
I have one.
Okay,
Tim, I'm curious. I don't know how it works, but I know a lot of cities have been getting revenue from the COVID funds, and I was curious if ICRC would qualify for any of that, and if so, if you've applied for it.
We have not. We initially last spring we applied for the not the PPP, but I can't think of it now off the top of my head. The
CARES funds,
maybe.
CARES.
Yeah, Melissa, do you remember what that was called? Yeah, we have not applied to get the loan. They did. They gave us. We got. I think it was like $8,000. That was, just. And the word is escaping me right now.
There's $8,000. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we had to, we didn't apply to get a loan, the kind of loan that you would have to pay back because, I didn't feel like we needed to do that. Fortunately, it's what the pandemic is not affecting the franchise fee revenue a whole lot, so it hasn't really affected us. I mean, we've been super busy. We haven't missed a beat. It's been pretty hectic, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's kind of where I was going. I was wondering if there was any money that you would qualify for to buy this additional equipment. Like to beef up your equipment because you're busier.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Honestly, I have not looked into that.
I don't think you qualify.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think we would.
It's pretty precise what you need to
right.
get money for. We had a meeting this morning on that, and our chief financial officer, she was going through what all the money we spent. It was about $300,000 last year that we got, but you had to itemize everything that you were doing and account for it back to the federal government. And I don't think you would qualify.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, on the flip side of that, though, I think potentially communities, could possibly qualify to use some of that CARES money to beef up their internal stuff, like their setups and laptops and equipment that they use for technology. And probably some of you have already done that.
We did that. We
Yeah.
did
Yeah,
that
we
in
did.
our community. Now, the American Rescue Plan is a little different. And there is money in there for broadband expansion. I don't know whether you fall into that category or not, but
Yeah. I
there
don't know.
is money. I think that's to go out more into the rural areas with broadband.
Right, right. You're right.
Yeah, and
Now,
in those communities that don't have a lot of access to internet. Yeah.
Rural.
Yeah, we're going to apply for that. I think we have until the 24th of April, of May, somewhere in there, to get the grant in.
Yeah.
now,
Well,
Tim
I
and
think next
Paul,
week, the Ohio
go ahead.
Municipal League has a webinar in which they're going to give us some outline of what we can spend that money on. Half of it is coming this year and half does not come until next year. And I think they're going to tell you what you can spend it on. And I think you're going to have to account for it pretty much to the penny, just the way you did with the CARES money.
Right.
Now, Paul, jump in and make sure I'm explaining this correct. So Sharonville had our own CARES Act funding. So we had received money from the federal government. I forgot what the other entities were. And we had a very tight time frame to turn that around.
Right.
And at the time, we did not include charity, nonprofits. But I believe at the end there, we found out that was acceptable. So we were allowed to apply some of that money to our budget, say for police and fire. And that
Mhm.
freed up a lot of money. Well,
Yes.
we felt since the original intent was it to go to small businesses, we had our own program, which at that point we could pretty much make our rules of what the criteria was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too, were you aware of that, number one? And then Paul, do you know when the end date was to apply for that? Because you could get up to $10,000 per business.
I believe it was the end of April, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. And so Tim, Jim Downton, who heads up the Sharonville Convention Center, is the one heading up that program. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember what the criteria was. I'll see if I can get an application. I'll send it your way and see if it's when the due date is. So let me look for that.
Sure. Yeah. Feel free to send it to me.
Okay.
Okay. Tim, information contained in the minutes for the 2021 budget, you had projected a 4% decrease and it's actually a 2.5%. What happened there?
Just that the franchise fees, the reduction wasn't as much as I kind of anticipated. Usually when I do the budget, I kind of factor in the percentage kind of on the high end of what I think the franchise fees might go down. Franchise fees obviously are pretty much dropping every year with folks cutting the cord and cutting cable. So when I try to speculate on the high side, how much of a percentage those will go down. So luckily they didn't go down as much as I thought they would, which kind of happened the year before.
Mhm.
So that's good for you and good for us. We're still getting a good amount of franchise fees from both cable companies.
Okay. Any other questions for Tim? Okay. Production managers report. Oh,
Thank you.
there you are.
Find the correct tab on where my mouse goes.
You jumped around on me. Okay, I found it.
Just kind of an update on what we've been working on since we last met. I went and counted the number of live streams that we've done for meetings, for sports events, for school recognitions, for pretty much anything. Done 204 live streams since last January. And about more than 50 of those were truck shoots where we took one of the production trucks out, covered different events and things like that. We've also completed a few community-based informational videos. One of them was the Sharonville brush pickup video that I think went out right after our last meeting. I think early February, that went out and was posted on the city's social media. We're moving into summer coverage, which is going to be concerts. There's some school events that are going to be trickling in. We've been looking at different graduations and things like that to stream just because of issues we haven't had in the past about attendance and things like that. And the biggest thing I've been working on is exploring new ways to interact with communities, but also with emerging needs from COVID-19, and live streaming has become a bigger push than it was in the past. And so coming up with different ways to live stream in different scenarios and with different options. For a long time, a lot of events weren't worried about being live at all. And we were pretty much limited to having a physical Ethernet hookup to be able to stream something live. And we've worked, I'd say diligently recently to expand that to now we can use Wi-Fi connections and hardwired Ethernet, and working on making sure we have a reliable Verizon modem to use, so we can go live pretty much anywhere in the suburban area that has reasonable services of some type. And I think the last thing, Tim mentioned the studio. I've been working on getting that up and running. It's kind of something we started last year, and then the pandemic kind of put on hold with all the other meetings we've been doing. So we're finishing that up and hopefully getting a whole bunch of new use out of it. And I'm working to set up meetings with communities and our board members and things like that to talk about different projects we can get involved with post pandemic in our new reality. I think that's all I have.
Any questions, Jason? Anyone have any questions? Okay. Thank you very much. We are now into old business. Is there any old business? Any old business? None. Any new business? New business? New business? None. You know, I brag about these meetings all the time. I tell people you can have a half-hour meeting and still get things done. So I want to say to ICRC, Lincoln Heights, appreciate your service and continue doing what you do. Technology is absolutely amazing, and I'm learning something about it every day. I'm not quite as nervous as I was when I first had to get on this thing. So thanks again. Okay, so we need a motion to adjourn. It's been a wonderful day. Our next meeting will be July the 22nd via Zoom or in person. We don't know yet. So,
Right.
is that right, Tim?
Yeah, I haven't really made that decision. I mean, I guess if I get some feedback from folks right now, what are your thoughts?
Well, I like the Zoom meetings for ICRC. But if we just need to meet in person, it's fine with me. I will do whatever the board wants to do. Does anyone else have an opinion about that? Speak up now.
I kind of agree with Linda that the Zoom meetings seem to work pretty well. I suspect by July we could probably meet in person if we spread out around the table enough. But I kind of like the Zoom meetings. You're there a half an hour at no travel time.
Yeah.
It works well for me.
Okay.
And you save money on food.
Right.
This will bring you on.
Yeah.
Thing, you know. Anyone else feel different about the Zoom meetings for now, and we come together later in the future, or you just want to meet and hug and see each other in person? I give you a virtual hug from a distance. We're good. Okay, so plan for that virtual meeting in July, and then we'll think about where we go from there.
Dave, you're on mute.
Oh, crud. Sorry. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Dave.
I'm gabbing away.
Say it again.
I'm okay either way. The Zoom is very convenient. You know, I'm just getting in the door. If there's a time where we do need to get together, I'm comfortable doing that also. We socially distant, but Zoom's fine for me at this point also. So,
All right.
Okay,
I could make the same statement. That's fine. I mean, we all know each other well enough. We've known each other for some time, so I think we can do quite well on Zooming. And just a quick note, Sharonville does that hybrid also, where we have the council people present at council. We also live stream, and it's worked very well. We've got questions, we've got interactions. A lot of people are, we have a somewhat older population. Our population is aging. And if folks want to watch, it's always a nice option to tell them to resuming and watch, and you can ask your questions, which I think they really enjoy. And I particularly like it because it gives us the best of both worlds, I think. And so I hope when the official get together for meetings is permitted again, we still can perhaps continue to do part of the live stream, because I think it's become kind of an integral part of our council meetings, and it's worked very well. So my compliments to ICRC for doing their work. Thank you.
Yeah, we just real quick, we definitely plan to stream anything, all the meetings live. As long as you guys want them streamed live, we'll stream them live for sure. Whether it's to the YouTube or to your Facebook. So yeah, that's gone really very well, and people like to be able to watch them online. So for sure.
We're getting about 25 to 35 hits. Whereas if we have 5 people show up at our council chambers, that's a lot.
Right.
yeah, exactly. We people are showing up to some of our meetings, whereas we may be the only people in the meeting go to Village Hall. So,
Mary Jo, did you have any thoughts about going back to in person for the board meetings?
We're running the hybrid right now, so I don't know. We haven't really talked about it in our council, so I will bring it up this week and see what everybody thinks. But I like the hybrid version. I like the ability for people, because just like the others have said, we have the aging community also, and it's just safer for them to stay home, and you get more involvement that way, because let's face it, it's easier. So I think we'll probably stay that way too.
Okay. All right.
okay. Need a motion to adjourn.
So
I'll
move.
make a motion. I'll second.
Been moved by Mayor Fine and second by Dave. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. I'll see you in July via Zoom.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Thank
Bye.
you, Linda. Thank you,
All right.
Linda.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Linda. Bye.
Thank you.